And pollination. So if I'm going to buy blueberries, I can't just buy one. I buy one blueberry shrub, and am I going to get blueberries? If I want apples, can I just buy one apple tree? Am I going to get apples? That sort of thing, or does it depend? How does all of that work?
It can depend, but in most cases, you want to buy two different varieties that are flowering at the same time, so cross pollination can happen. You may see once in a while fruit trees, fruit shrubs, they'll say self pollinating. While that is true, it does help to get another variety as well. That'll just, with the self pollinating variety, maybe you only get 50% of what you were expecting. If you get another variety to help with the self pollinating variety, then it's going to bump that up to even higher.
I see. Um, and with apple trees, I've always been curious. So let's say I've got a Nova Mac, which I do have a Nova Mac. Um, so I've got a Nova Mac in my garden, and because space is limited, I need another apple tree nearby, but I don't have any room in my garden. If I grow a crabapple tree outside the garden, um, is that going to pollinate my Novamac?
Yes, they will. So pollination, usually it's within the genus of a species.
Right.
So anything that falls within that same genus, usually they have the same set chromosomes, and they're able to cross pollinate that way.
Okay. So crabapple's an apple.
Yep.
I just think of crabapple because it's less likely they're gonna, a bear's gonna go and just clean that all out because they're not,
Yeah.
they don't
And
taste
this
very
might be a
good.
good time too to. This might be a good time too. I think a lot of, especially new gardeners, expect that if you're cross pollinating, let's say your Novamac with a crab apple, that the fruit that's going to come out from your Novamac is going to taste like a crab apple, be very sour, maybe very bitter, and that's not the case. The cross pollination of chromosomes going on there is actually affecting the seed inside of the apple, not the fleshy part of the fruit.
Right.
Um, the fleshy part is kind of just the carrier for the seed.
Yes, the seed's the
Um,
baby,
the
not the
seed,
apple.
yeah, the seed would be the offspring of the cross pollination between the two.
I see. Yeah, that makes, yeah, it's so different than the way people do things.
Yeah, very different.
But probably not as fun either. Um,
Probably not.
okay, so in most cases you need two varieties, and even when they say you don't, you're better off having two. And
Correct.
as you alluded to earlier, when you get two varieties, it's very important that they're pollinations. And this is not a thing that's easy. If you go to a garden center, they're just you. If you if they're just, like it's going to be some teenager there, and you can buy whatever you want, and you go home and nothing grows, and you think, oh, I guess my soil's no good. And no, you got no apples because you got three Macintosh or three Liberties or whatever. Or you got two different varieties because you heard that somewhere, but they're so far apart in their pollination when they flower that they barely pollinate each other. So these are all things, and there's plenty of maybe you can email me a really good resource, but there's plenty of resources on the internet that'll show which trees go with which and which trees are sort of optimal, that sort of thing. And so when you're making that decision, you're trying to decide what tree. There's two trees, maybe like I think one of my most hated apple is the red delicious apple. I hate it.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so let's say I'm growing my Novamac and the perfect pollination partner is the red delicious, but I don't like those. So I find like so there's a sort of pollination window. There's another one that's very close. Let's say the sweet 16. Oh, I'm going to get that because that's a delicious apple, that sort of thing. So these are all things that people need to just consider when they're buying something like an apple tree or even a fruit bush, because many people don't realize that when you buy your apple tree or your fruit bush, it's going to be years before you get anything out of it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's going to be years. And we always tell our customers too, like I'm sure like any good gardener, you buy your fruit shrub, your fruit perennial, your fruit tree, and you want fruit the next year, and you
free
get a
fruit.
couple of apples. You get a couple of fruit coming out, and you're all excited. And we always tell our customers like, I know you're really excited for those couple of fruit, but it just takes so much of the plant to produce fruit, especially larger fruit like an apple. It's better to just cut those couple of off, keep doing that for 3 or 4 years, let the plant really establish itself, get some good growth on it, and then just let it go to town.
Yes. Um,
Mm.
and I guess speaking like if you wait 3, 4 years and you've actually planted the wrong varieties, you don't want to realize you made a mistake 3 or 4 years in. It's one of those things where it's worth, if you're thinking of you got some land and you're thinking of getting into apple trees and fruit bushes, or fruit trees and fruit bushes, do a little bit of research, listen to a few podcasts, maybe read a book, and make some really good decisions about what you're going to grow.